So in my last video, I shared with you the recent experience about autopilot and auto battery swap experience on the Banyan 2.4.5 version. So now I have updated to Banyan 2.6.0. That's the latest stable release. And today I'm going to show you I only have 7% battery left over. That's a 75 kilowatt per hour battery on this vehicle at this moment. The estimated battery life is 35 kilometers left over, but actually, based on my driving habit, I only have 26 kilometers left over. So I'm driving to the latest, the nearest battery station. That is took me around 18 kilometers away from here, and this is a different city. I'm enjoying my Labor Day holiday here, so I have no idea how this is gonna be. So let's just take a look at it and let the vehicle drive by itself and see how this new version works in a totally different new city. And again, if I have to take over, I take over, but just let it be. So let's get started. I don't want to get stuck on the halfway without any battery life left over. So let's go. I'm doing this manually at this moment, so I'm gonna activate it right after doing this U-turn. So I'm gonna activate it right now. Okay. Someone mentioned that they thought this video is what the previous video was fake, but clearly you can see that yes, you see that I took it over a little bit. That's why when it's doing this autopilot, we see this this blue arrow. It's following some lane here. Okay. So it's not a fake video. It's true. It's actually taking place. It's actually happening. Someone just refused to follow up the latest advances in technology. So it's slowing down for the red headlight. Okay. He saw that the car ahead of us is too slow, so he changed the right lane. Slowing down again for the red headlight. My hand is just holding the wheel, doing nothing. Okay, it's going down. Changing to the left lane because the previous lane was closed or blocked. Slowing down for the red headlight again. We don't see much construction here, so everything looks pretty good at this moment. Crystal clear for the signals, lane change, and red headlights. Nothing wrong here. you'll recognize this red headlight in a few seconds, because I'm seeing that the other side is getting to red headlight. Okay, right away. I'm giving it a little bit more gas to speed up. Okay, I'm changing the speed limit from 55, which is the default 10% up, to 65 because it's in the night and the traffic is perfect for speeding. It's gonna be doing a left turn in 300 meters. Okay, so it's changing the lane ahead of the crossing. Slowing down for the red headlight. So it's warning me that the not plus is it's gonna be degrading to the NOP or the ACC, the adaptive cruising, because I think there's some part of the road is not fully implemented into the not plus version yet. So in some transition roads or area, is going up and down for a reason. But I'll still give it a try to see if we can go to this very long left turn. Anyway, okay, it's recognizing the countdown here. So in 3 seconds. Okay, going left. See how it goes. Okay, not too bad. It tried to go to the middle lane, but immediately recognized that it should go to the left lane. But and we need to do a right turn right after a few hundred meters. So it did this very quickly and slowing down for the right turn now. It's trying to recognize the lane. Okay, it's doing this right. I think it's too slow, but it worked. Yes. Now it's the ACC mode. I'm gonna take it over a little bit because okay, it's not a full not plus version. You see that it's no longer a green blue road representation. It's more like a gray one, downgraded to the NOP, not plus. So I'm gonna take it over for this. I think this is off-road. You can still do the cruising, but no. I think that's the turning left or right. I'm probably not gonna recognize that vehicle ahead of us. So I'm gonna take it over. Okay. Too many vehicles just parking on the road. Can't blame them because I think this is the road from their village. Still doing the cruise, but I'm just giving a bit more gas because the speed limit is actually 10 at this moment, and my hand is just holding it. Now it's going back to the not plus again. You see that blue lane again, right? So everything going back to normal. So I'm just letting the vehicle to take control again. And we are going across this crossing. See how it goes. Slowly passing by this crossing and going back to North Plaza again. If it's in the daylight, if there are too many pedestrian or bicycles or the scooters going through, I may see a problem here, but not too much for the night time. It's warning me that the North Plaza is going to downgrade it to the knob again. Let me switch the system language back to English, just for your convenience. Okay.
领航结束，当前 pilot 运行中。
Okay. There is a.
前方路口，请手动左转。
I'm taking control and I braked it, so now plus exited. After getting through here, I'm gonna get back to the knob plus. So I'm activating it by pressing this button here. See that?
Pilot 已启动。
Okay. I think it's still not. It's not. It's the ACC mode. There's no blue lane showing here. It's just doing this cruising, and it smells in the village. It really smells. So I'm gonna be very careful because in the rural area, I don't expect to see too much traffic, but some people is gonna show up like this in no time, anytime. Or bicycles, scooters. Once again, if my opinion is like if NIO can really make use of its hardware and solve or optimize this off-road around China, it's gonna be a great opportunity for it. It didn't recognize that truck because we are still in the knob plus, the knob version, not the knob plus version. We still have 11 kilometers left over, and then we have 4% battery life. Should be okay.
前方路口，请手动右转。
Okay, I'm gonna do this manually. It's asking me to do that.
Pilot 已退出。
Because I don't want to waste too much time on it. Okay.
领航开始。
Okay. Now it's back to not plus. You can tell that. And let's try if we can. Yeah, we made it. And picked up the second lane from left, which is nice. Okay, going to the right for some reason. I don't know why. It's not the best lane actually. That's something still need to be optimized as well. Sometimes there's a super long lane and there's a small lane and the short lane, and it still picks up the longest lane for no reason. I took it over a little bit because it's trying to get to the middle lane, but the vehicle besides me is not letting me to go. Okay.
领航开始。
Slowing down. from now on, I'm gonna actually minimize the taking over action, because we are on the main lane. I don't think there's too much issue about taking over, so just let it go. We're in a different province, and this province is notorious about not following the traffic rules, like turning signals when they are changing the lane. So it's introducing some challenge for the NIO to recognize its behaviors. It's following the previous vehicle, which is very slow, and there's no action. Okay, just did it. You see that? That vehicle didn't do a signal when changing to the left lane. It's a typical behavior from this province. Any vehicle from this province, I would say maybe 80%, which is against the law, by the way. Okay, there is a electric scooter ahead of us. Let's see if we can try to avoid it. Not really. It's slowing down. Okay. It just kind of stopped from nowhere because of that scooter. But I didn't take it over, so thanks to this light traffic, nothing happened. Turning to the right lane. And back to the middle lane. Okay. Okay, pick up the right lane because there was a slow vehicle. Okay, it slowed down for it because it was trying to take over our lane without a signal. Very dangerous, but the vehicle just slowed down to avoid that. It's reckless drivers from this province. I hate them, to be honest. we are very close. 7.7 kilometers left over, and we still have I think half of the battery left over. There's some scooters there trying to do a U-turn, so it slowed down and went off the lane a little bit to avoid hitting into them. There's another scooter ahead of us, so it changed to the left lane. Okay. Again, no signal when doing the left turn. I think the biggest issue about autopilot is actually the drivers. If everybody follows the rule without being a reckless driver, it's going to be much easier. The people can just take care of the road conditions and using the radars, using the cameras to do the processing. Everything is going to be fine. But when we have to take into the, I have to take the drivers into consideration, it's going to be a big issue. You don't know what's going to happen. Again, this is my first time being in this city or even this province, so I have no idea the road conditions and what I'm gonna facing. I'm gonna be facing for this trip. So I think it reflects less the bias or the prejudice about this trip. From the last time, that's the frequent road I usually do for battery swap. So I already know some constructions or road conditions that I can take actions ahead of the time. But this time, everything is unknown to me. All relying on this vehicle. But so far, I don't see any practical difference compared to the previous version, except for this lane changing action. I think it's smoother and more active. Whenever it sees a opportunity to do that, it does it, which is great because it's more like a experienced driver. And also it's going to be great for heavy traffic. You don't have to stuck in a slow lane. The yellow light is actually from this camera. This is the face recognition camera. I think it's in infrared. So forgive about that part. It's in the night. You can't avoid that. So we're getting closer to the city center. So you see that the traffic is getting a little bit heavier compared to the beginning. But we have 4.6 kilometers left over for this trip. So far, I think not too bad, but the change is actually subtle. Okay, it's slowing down because the vehicle on my left side is trying to do a U-turn and actually blocked my driveway a little bit. I didn't even notice that because I was talking, which is nice. Okay. Okay. It went to the right lane and then back to left lane because there was a scooter ahead of us. It took the action to avoid hitting into it. That was a fast response. I think I kind of like it. That's natural. That's more that's closer to the human being reactions. Just slow down for some reason. I don't know. Maybe there's a scooter just on the right side. Okay, what's another? It's stopped for the right lane. There was a electric bicycle blocking the right lane, so the vehicle stopped to let the other vehicles on the right side to pass by. If it's me, if it was me, I'm not gonna let the vehicles to pass by me one by one. And maybe just let the first one to go, not all of them. So it's being nice as a vehicle, I guess, to the humans. Okay, it's going to the right lane because there is a truck ahead of us. Is driving very slow. Too many electric bicycles just driving on the main lane, which is weird. And I'm glad this vehicle actually recognized those behaviors or those electric bicycles and take actions ahead of hitting onto them, or it's too late when it is too late. Okay. It picked the left lane because the middle lane is longer, which is good. But there's a truck ahead of us, so even though they are a long lane, they actually clear up pretty quick. Let's see if the vehicle can do a lane change. Yes, a lane change. Okay, the battery life is very low now. Only 7 kilometers left over, but no problem at all because we only have less than 2 kilometers left over. And by the way, when it is hitting 0 kilometers for the battery life, it still can drive 10 to 15 kilometers in the summertime. That's the way how NIO preserve the battery life for their batteries, because all the batteries can be exchanged to the battery station for other people to use. So they make sure that each battery has the longest battery life extended by some measures, like keeping some battery life hidden. So we are very close to the destination. See that? It's on the right side. Most of the trip was on the main lane, so yeah, I think it's not too bad. Everything is under expectation, except for the off-road in the village. I don't really think it was great, because it was like downgrading to the knob and then going back to the knob plus and doing this over and over again, which is annoying. I can't expect to see when it is going to happen. So we are going to do the right turn very soon. It's slowing down for the vehicle ahead of us. Okay. Okay, the battery swap order was placed. Because the proximity is, I think, is within 300 meters. The battery order will be automatically placed. Okay, now that is the battery swap station. Oh, I just pressed it back. Okay, because yeah, that's the entrance. Okay. Oh, God. That's here. You see that arrow? So that's this towards us. So I'm gonna drive to the other side. So my direction is following this arrow. We can do the battery swap automatically. This is really a place. Must be cheap for the rent. I have to drive into the spot. Oh, it's already recognizing it. So I'm gonna start it. Even though I'm not in that exact spot, it still started. That's great. Okay, everything's auto. I always make sure my right foot is on the brake, not stepping onto it, but just keep holding on it, so making sure if there's anything wrong, I'm gonna break it.
停好了，交给你啦。
Okay, start.
Preparing. Please wait.
1% left over. I like this trip because I actually used up most of the batteries, so worth every penny out of it. This battery took me from the last video
Power swap
and
is
all
about
the
to
way
start.
for the holiday trip and to a different province, a different city.
This is normal.
Nowhere
Do
in
not
the city,
open
I have
any
no
door.
idea.
Shift gears or press brake pedal.
There's another vehicle just arrived, so he has to wait for us until we finished. So you see that this battery station is really making out of money for developed areas, that because there are too many NIO vehicles available. According to the analysis, I heard that each battery station can make it even if there are 60 battery swap orders for a day. So it's not an issue for battery swap stations around my home in Shanghai. They're very busy, 24 hours, 7 days. Each day they are very busy and full of battery swap orders, so they are already making money. But for those rural areas, probably not, or those less developed places, they are not fulfilled by busy orders yet. But that's something I think is really challenging for NIO, because it's a single company, cannot really actually do this by itself. It has to have some support or backup from a union. That's what it is doing at this moment. It actually signed contracts with a lot of EV makers or automakers, or actually the government, to make sure this battery swap union is following their own standard, so they can really make use of it, and making sure all the new vehicles by other vehicle makers can use these battery stations as well. Not the Gen 1 and Gen 2 stations, but Gen 3 and Gen 4 upcoming Gen 4 stations could be used for the other EV vehicle makers. So we already have 2 vehicles waiting for me, but our battery swap is in near end. The new battery is already engaged. I only stopped or braked a few times in the rural area. Other than that, I didn't do any takeover actions for the rest of the trip for today. The subtle change is, I think, smoother lane change actions. Other than that, I don't see much differences yet. So I'll keep exploring, because I'm gonna going back to my city, and I'm gonna do this exact same trip from my home to the nearest battery swap station again, and to see how it compares to the benchmark last time. Okay, see you next time.